All right, we are back out of closed session, and it is 7:07 when we're going to call the open meeting open. And we're going to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, so please stand. Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So before we actually get into starting the meeting, I just want to explain that we are on unfamiliar territory and we're using all new system, and we are using a brand new agenda system. So some of us are still, not some of us, all of us are still struggling with which button to push, and because it's going to be no more paper. So just so you know, we are hopefully not going to have any issues tonight, but we'll find out. So if you find us, there's a little lull every once in a while, it's because we're trying to find where we are on our iPads and everything else is going around. So with that, approval of the agenda. Dr. Walla, any changes to the agenda? No changes? All right, seeing none, I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Got a motion by Member Gattuso, seconded by Member Moran to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried. All right. The fun part that we like, we get to recognize some of our great graduates, some more of our great graduates, because we've done a couple of days of those already. But tonight is our adult school graduates. And Mr. Mias, would you like to start us off?
So, like, in the spirit of doing something different, so this year we thought it would be unique and special for those students who work so hard to enjoy the pomp and circumstance music as they enter in. I want to thank Cassandra Young. It was her great idea at our December meeting about the importance of pomp and circumstance. It's very symbolic and very special. So it gives chills because it's so meaningful. So, Cassandra, ready? Yes. Okay. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful. Good evening, board. It's great to see you again. As you know, I'm the proud principal of San Luis High School, Crossroads Alternative Education Center, and Las Manos Adult School. And since relaunching Las Manos Adult School in 2017, I'm proud to say that we've had approximately 87 students who have graduated from the adult school diploma or the GED program. And tonight we have the honor of celebrating 12 more graduates, 9 of whom are with us this evening. So this brings us to a total of 99 graduates and counting. And so I'm very proud of the program. I'd like to introduce the adult education staff. And as you know, they all have other full-time jobs. This is an extra duty, and they do such a great job. And I definitely want to recognize their hard work and effort. It truly is a family community at Las Manos Adult School. First, Mrs. Cassandra Young, please stand. Administrative assistant. We have Mr. Alex Castro, GED instructor. Next to Mr. Castro is our former GED and Spanish teacher, Mrs. Yahaira Castellanos. Next, we have our newly retired 30-year educator, Mr. Paul Montemuro, who's here with us. Mr. Montemuro, thank you. We already miss him at San Luis, but we know you have to retire sometime. We have Mrs. April Brady, who has replaced him. And our counselor, Mr. Patrick Holcraft. And last but not least, Miss Jessica Ramirez, diploma in the morning. I did not forget. I was looking for her like, okay, where are you? Okay. So this address is for the June 2026 class. I am going to address the students in English, and then I'm going to invite Mr. Castro to address the students in Spanish. So tonight, again, we celebrate 12 extraordinary students whose graduate journeys remind us that success is not defined by when you finish, but by your determination to keep going. Many of these graduates, if not all, have balanced work, family, responsibilities, and life's daily challenges while pursuing their education. They made sacrifices, they stayed committed, and they refused to give up on their dreams. Their achievement is not only a personal accomplishment, but also a gift to their children, their families, and future generations. Whether earning a high school diploma or completing their GED, these graduates have shown tremendous courage, perseverance, and heart. And tonight, we honor their hard work, we celebrate their success, and recognize the families and loved ones who supported them along the way. Please join me in congratulating the class of 2026. And now I would like to invite Mr. Castro for his address.
Hello, board. This is my first time here in front of you guys. It's an honor. Este mensaje es para los estudiantes atrás de mí. Felicidades a ustedes. Esta es una carta con mucho sentimiento para ustedes que los he conocido por un poquito. Hola, mi nombre es Alex Romero. Soy uno de los maestros aquí en el programa del GED para el distrito escolar. He tenido el privilegio de conocer a nuestros graduados mucho más allá de sus estudios y de los exámenes. Al mirar hacia atrás, no solo recuerdo a los estudiantes que llegaban al salón después de un largo día de trabajo o después de cumplir con sus responsabilidades familiares. Yo recuerdo las conversaciones sobre sus metas, sus hijos, sus sueños y las razones que los trajeron hacia aquí para obtener su GED. He visto cómo se apoyaban unos con otros, cómo compartían consejos, celebraban pequeños logros y encontraban maneras de seguir creciendo mientras enfrentaban las demandas de la vida. Hoy, a verlos recibir este reconocimiento, mi corazón se llena con mucha alegría. En ustedes yo miro líderes y personas que dedicaron invertir en su futuro. Hoy no solo se cierra una etapa, sino que se abren muchas puertas. Se expande la oportunidad de empleo, estudios universitarios, programas técnicos y nuevas metas que antes parecían lejanas. Lo más importante es que ahora cuentan con una prueba de algo que nadie les puede quitar. La certeza de que son capaces de transformar su propia historia, basada en su poder de no rendirse. Graduados, por favor, y por favor se los digo con mucho corazón, recuerden siempre que el futuro no está definido por dónde comenzamos. Su futuro está definido por la visión que tienen de seguir adelante, como siempre lo han hecho, y seguir construyendo su futuro. Gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Castro. Okay, next up, the awarding of diplomas. So we practiced a little bit, knowing that we're in a new facility. So students, when I call your name, I'm going to have you stand and walk over to Mr. Holcraft and wait for him right there, okay? All right. Okay, family, you ready?
You can do it before.
Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Britiseda Banuelos.
The proclamation.
Hillary Gonzalez. Deanna Gonzalez. Anna Martinez. Maricela Rodriguez. Jessica Rodriguez. Diana Sanchez. America Turi. And Cecilia Zerwick. Yes. Hello again. Hello. Hey, good to see you.
Nice to meet you too. Hi, good to see you. Good to see you. She's been doing this for a couple of years.
Yes, we're good. We're ready. You're ready to officially say
Okay. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of California and the governing board of the Los Banos Unified School District, I certify that students receiving a diploma have met both local and state graduation requirements. I hereby confer upon each of you the diploma for which you have qualified with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities attached thereto. It is, excuse me, it is a pleasure to present the Los Banos Adult Education graduating class of June 2026.
Okay.
All right, we will continue on with the agenda as soon as everybody gets their congratulations taken care of. All right, members of the public may request an item be placed on the board agenda. If it's within the board's purview, we will take that up at a future meeting. We ask is that you submit that information at least 2 weeks prior to a regularly scheduled board meeting. If there's anybody here tonight that wishes to address any item that is on tonight's agenda, you may do so by approaching the podium up front. And when you're recognized, please state your name if you wish. And you'll have 3 minutes to state your comments on that agenda item. If there are multiple speakers on that agenda item, it is limited to 20 minutes. And if there's anybody here tonight that wishes to address the board on any item that is not on tonight's agenda, you may do so in a second when I say we're ready for that part. By approaching the podium, we ask that you identify yourself if you wish and state your comments. Hopefully it's within the purview of the board. And also you'll have 3 minutes. And if there are multiple speakers on the same non-agenda item, you'll have a total of 20 minutes for non-agenda item comments. So with that, is there anybody here tonight that wishes to address the board on any item that is not on tonight's agenda? Please come forward. All right, seeing no one come forward. We're going to start with our reports. CSCA. Oh, not on the agenda. Yes, forward. Oh, yes. If hang on one second, let me get your mic card. All right, welcome. And there's a timer up here. The little lights will tell you when your 3 minutes are up.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. My name is Isai Garniga Palma. I'm the assistant director with an organization called Valley Onward. We're based here throughout Merced County.
Can you speak a little louder, please?
Sorry, can you hear me? Sorry, can you hear me?
If you just want to stand to the side of the podium, maybe.
Okay. Hello?
There we go. There we go. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Okay, so again, my name is Isai Garniga Palma. I'm the assistant director with an organization called Valley Onward. We're a nonprofit here based in Merced County. And today, I'm just here to talk about a program that we were able to conduct in Pacheco High School. And I'm just here to thank the school, but also looking forward to seeing how we can continue to partner. So we were funded by the state of California to do outreach and enrollment on the California Kids program. Basically, it's a scholarship program that the state developed for any students that are eligible for it. And in Los Baños, just the high school system, there's around 2,600 students that are eligible. We were able, and we're here today because we want to thank one, Alondra Castillo, who's a parent and a graduate of one of our programs, who put us in touch with Miss Cynthia Beltran, who's a counselor at Pacheco High School, who really opened the door for us and allowed us to kind of lead the enrollment efforts for the students at the high school. And so, well, we're really thankful for that opportunity, and we just want to demonstrate the work that we were able to do and see how we can continue to partner with the district, because there's still a lot of money available for the kids to be able to enroll into this program this coming year and have something more structured as we move along. I think we came in towards the end and it was a little hectic, but I think that as we move forward, I think that there can be a greater partnership in other services that we offer too. So in just 2.5 months of work that we were able to do, some of our outreach team that we have here, Gabi and Santa and Rosa, with Gabby's actually a parent here of the school district. We were able to enroll or activate 624 scholarships for students. And out of those, that resulted in a total of $366,085.87. And this is for students to be able to use, whether they're going to a university, whether they're going to community college or they're going into some sort of trade, as long as the trade union falls within or takes FAFSA. That's how the money is distributed. And so as students received on average around $588 per scholarship. And we think that this is a great opportunity to continue to motivate students to be able to look forward to something. And students are eligible as long as, one, they were enrolled in school after 2022. And I know my time's up, so
I'll give you a couple seconds because we had to work on the mic.
But we were also able to support other schools throughout Merced County. Overall, in a 4-month period of work that we did, we were able to secure $1.5 million for students. And I know that we can and will continue to support and have more students enroll into this program. And I hope that we can continue a partnership as we move forward. So thank you very much for your time. And thank you again for the partnership.
Thank you. Great information. Appreciate it. Do we have anybody else that wishes to address the board that is something that is not on tonight's agenda? Good evening.
Good evening. Very nervous, never had. to do
You're going to have to step over in front of the mic because we're having a hard time hearing up here.
I'm
Thank you.
quite nervous. I've never had to do something like this, so my heart's already racing. But hi, everyone. My name is Blanca Fajardo, and this is Maria Aguilar. We are both mothers of special needs children on the autism spectrum disorder. We are here today to ask that you all address this issue that has been going on at the school district is in the special education office. We both received letters indicating that our children must change schools. The reason being is to deal with the influx of children that are coming into the classroom. Obviously, we're against that. We have addressed this directly with the Director of Special Services, as well as with phone calls, emails, in person, trying to get some resolution, because we haven't been provided with any data or any information as to why the change is absolutely necessary and how it would benefit our sons. We have just been told this is happening, you got to deal with it. Now, mind you, our children have gone through this already twice in the school district, and that's completely unfair. Just because our children are special needs, we have to remove them around, and it causes a lot of disruption in their education. Both our sons are currently in 2nd grade at Westside Elementary School. We're told they need to move to Henry Miller because that is our boundary school. That's actually not the case. It's actually Volta, but we are being sent to Henry Miller because Volta does not have the capacity to handle our sons. Okay? And prior to that, they were at Mercy Springs. Prior to that, they were at County. So they've been moving a lot. And per their individual education plan, there has been regression. We've seen this happen with every single move. So we're here to ask the board to please, we wanted to address this privately. We didn't want to make this public. But unfortunately, when you're not getting a reply to your email and you're waiting a week or 2 out, it leads us here, unfortunately. And we don't want to be doing this. We don't want to be creating any problems from anyone or, like I said, be doing any of this. But unfortunately, it has led us here today. Until this matter is resolved, we're formally invoking our sons' stay put rights so they will remain in their current placement until this matter is addressed, until there's data supporting the change on how this would benefit our children. I even made the choice to email the teachers at this other school just to get some conversation going. Those emails have yet to have a response to. What's the point of having an email if the teacher's never going to reply to you? It's quite frustrating. Now, I would understand if I was emailing one of you guys, you might take a little longer because you're dealing with the entire school board. That's not the case. Some teachers only have 20 students, 25. There's no reason why a response to a parent can't be received. It would avoid having to approach the school on site, having to approach the principal if these emails were just read and say, we're working on that, we'll get back to you, I'm sorry, we're closed, whatever the reason may be.
And that's your time?
Okay. will you guys be discussing in next month's meeting this? Will you take it into consideration? What are the next steps here?
Well, I'm going to ask you to step out and speak to our Director of Student Services, which is Mr. Mraz, and he will be able to kind of direct you what your next steps should be.
The guy in the top?
The guy in the tie.
Sorry, I'm looking around. and-
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Mr. Mraz over there.
thank you.
You bet.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, is there anybody else here that wishes to address the board on any item that is not on tonight's agenda? All right, seeing no one come forward, we're going to start reports. First up is the California School Employees Association. Do we have a report? I see no one coming forward. How about Los Banos Teachers Association? No report. All right, then we have our facilities. No. Ms. Monday's on her way down. She doesn't get off so easy.
It'll be a short one. Good evening, board members and everybody. I'm here to do my June facilities update. It's summertime, so we're getting really busy. Los Banos High School modernization is in full swing right now. We've moved the attendance office staff and taken off all the things we want to keep off of that building. And it was actually demolished today. I don't know if you got to witness it.
I missed it. I didn't see.
Yeah, so it's rubble right now. So that was exciting. On the new attendance building, they're working on sealing that up, getting the HVAC running, the electrical, interior wall finishes, setting the doors and the frames, and installing exterior cement board. They have the entire quad area and all the concrete flat work demolished right now. So that is all getting ready to put our new shade structures in and our new quad area. They also, on Monday, they started the K-wing re-roofing. They started painting the portables this week and replacing the rotted beams around the administration building. You know how it has that kind of weird frame that comes off of it? All that was rotted, so we're having to replace that. They are working in the locker rooms. They are mostly demolished. What they're working on in there now is pulling out all the underground drainage system that was in there. And then they're working in the H-wing, and they're working on electrical framing. All the new concrete in that wing has been poured. The new seat walls for the kind of that little quad area in the middle of the wing. So we are moving and grooving all over that campus. It is shut down. Nobody really can go on besides the construction team. So maybe at some point towards the end of the summer, maybe we can go for a tour and see the chaos before we get back into the school year. Grasslands LEAP portables. Those buildings will be delivered on June 24th. We're going to be opening the site work bids on July 15th, and those should be up and running and ready for kids no later than September 30th. The special education building at Grasslands, the modular building bids will open on July 15th. And once that's awarded, we'll be able to incorporate those plans into our overall site plan and then submit those to DSA. Pacheco baseball field, if that contract is awarded tonight, we will get the contracts, bonds, and insurance in place. And then we would start work on that July 6th. That is a 90-day project, and so that's scheduled to be complete September 20th. So that's kind of what's happening this summer. Obviously, we're still working on all that other stuff we talk about, but this is kind of what's on the board right now. So,
All right. Any questions? All right. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Sounds like you're going to be busy. Next up, it's Community Schools Report. Do we have a report for? Okay. What? I never got to punch her in before you said so. Could you repeat that?
Oh, sorry. Miss Wheeler has a family emergency, and so that she's not able to report this evening.
All right. Thank you. Next up is the superintendent's report. Do you have anything for us tonight, Dr.?
I just want to say thank you to all of the sites. I made it out to all of the 16 sites before the school year ended, and so everyone was incredibly welcoming. A shout out to LBE because it was a crazy day when I arrived. It was their water day and their senior walkthrough, and they still showed me around, and I got to see all the school spirit, and I got to see the seniors walking through, and then see those blow up water slides and see all the kids so incredibly excited. So the energy was truly palpable. The students were excited, the staff were excited. And again, just thank you to all of the sites for welcoming me at the end of the school year when things are getting crazy, and all of the various administrators who've taken time out of their schedule as well to meet with me. I only have a few left to have some one-on-one meetings with to get a better understanding of how our district works.
Thank you. And if you don't know, that is Dr. Vala, our new superintendent. So welcome. Ooh. All right, on to board member reports. Let's start with Dr. Moran. You're on.
It's going to be super short and very similar. Thank you to the sites, everything that we went to, from ribbon cutting over at the Early Education Center. That was amazing. Over at Volta, the time capsule. I'm just kind of curious when they started to mention some of the things that they put in there, like I think it was like hot Cheetos or something. I said, who's going to be looking at this in a couple, well, not a couple years, in several years, and that still is intact, right? But anyways.
They'll be edible.
Yeah, they will be. That's why I said they're going to be intact. They're just Frankenstein food. But anyways, we won't derail. And just obviously graduations and all the wonderful ceremonies. So thank you so much for making us all feel welcomed. I got a little lost at Creekside, and by lost I mean I got locked into the gate. And so there was staff that just graciously came and then opened the gate for me. So I definitely looked like a lost person in there. But thank you so much to all the sites. Everybody's always so welcoming when we kind of have our little frantic pleas of, hey, I need to get over there somehow. And I have like 5 minutes to get there. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Ms. Aldeo.
One of our strategic goals is that students will be at grade level by 3rd grade. And I just have to share one thing that happened that just put a smile on my face. I was at Mercy Springs at their open house, and I'm in the kindergarten room, and I'm in a room, and this little girl is so excited. Mom, Dad, come here, come here, come here. And she's reading everything that's on all the interactive writing and the charts that are on the wall. And I just looked at that and went, isn't that amazing? What a great start for those kids learning how to read. And our goal is to catch those kids before they get to 3rd grade so they could be at grade level. So I just wanted to share that, and that was an awesome thing. And also the graduations were so wonderful. It makes me so proud and optimistic for our world when I see so many students who shake your hand and look you in the eye. And it makes me go, yeah, you hear all this bad stuff on all that social media, but really our kids are wonderful in Los Banos and so respectful. And it was wonderful to participate in all those graduation ceremonies. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Caduso.
Well, I also want to say congratulations to all the graduates. Yeah, I've been out of commission the last couple of weeks, so I was not able to go to the graduations this year, which broke my heart that's like the culmination of everything that they've done, right? And I missed it. And so I apologize for that, but it really was something I couldn't avoid. But I attended lots of different events at the beginning of the month. I'm not going to spend too much time on any of that tonight because I'm hoping we get through this quickly tonight. So again, just congratulations to the graduates, and everybody just have a great summer. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Lieb.
So same thing. I went to all the graduations. I had a great time seeing the smiling faces. Still wondering what the ping pong balls were about at Pacheco High, but received a lot of those as I shook the hands of the graduates. They handed me their ping pong ball. So enjoyed the ABC fashion show at LBE, and the walkthrough at Velasco was fun. And congratulations to all the graduates, and have a great summer, and start back up in August. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Castro. Thank you, Mr. Lieb.
I would also like to congratulate the graduating class of 2026 and welcome Dr. Vale to the Los Banos Unified School District. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Smith.
I got to enjoy all the graduations too, but at the end of the day, to me, a lot of dedication and thank you go out to the teaching staff. The teaching staff, they taught our children to communicate, to be citizens. They taught them to read and write. They were their mothers. They were their nutritionists. They were their therapists. They were everything to our kids. And it shows when they walk across the stage, whether it's from kindergarten to the high schools, the students were very excited. They show love and devotion. And I think that none of that would have happened without our teaching staff. I think they get a big shout out from me. All the stakeholders that gave out scholarships, all the staff that work in offices, they make this happen. It's nothing unusual. We do this a lot. But this year for me, for some reason, I just sit there and I thought, wow, none of this could happen with our teachers, without teaching staff. So the teaching staff to me is paramount, and they rock, and they're hardcore, and they did a great job. And I just want to say thank you to them.
Right.
Keep feeding them. Keep it up.
Thank you. Well, not to repeat everything that's been said, I just want to say one additional thing about graduations. Besides, they were awesome. The staff who put them together and administration worked tirelessly to put a really good graduation on for our students. So that was great. But what impressed me a lot about graduations this year for both our high schools were the number of students in white robes. So we had many, the Los Banos High School had their color, Pacheco has their color, but there were at both high schools, there were more white robes than I've ever seen. And the significance of the white robes were those lifetime CSF members, which only tells me we're doing something right, because there were a lot of them, more than I have seen before in the past couple of years. So congratulations to our staff and our teaching staff that are doing the right things to get these students ready for college or ready for their next role. So congratulations to everybody who graduated, and kudos to those students wearing the white robes. It's great. Okay, next up, the presentation of the 26-27 budget.
Good evening, board. I will use my mom voice, so I don't use the mic.
But you got to scoot over a little bit to the mic. There you go. There you go.
Okay. So first I want to apologize. I had hoped to have your books to you at least a week earlier, but with the May revised, every time it changed, I had to pivot and head in a different direction. So I apologize. But you won't vote on it till the 17th. So in between now and then, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I welcome the questions. I want you guys to know what you're voting on. And so just reach out to me if you have questions. Okay. First, I want to acknowledge Declan Bachman. He's a 5th grader at Grasslands Elementary who did our cover. If anyone remembers the Kool-Aid guy, it looks like the Kool-Aid guy. So thank you to Declan for doing that for us. Okay, the May revise. The governor's May revise proposed a funded COLA of 2.87 and an additional 1.44% adjustment to address rising costs, declining enrollment, and the implementation of the 14-week paid disability pregnancy leave. It maintained an increase to special ed and established a base rate of $1,340 per funded ADA, which is amazing. That we've been waiting for that for a long time, so that was a nice surprise. It provided one-time funding for the Student Support and Professional Development Discretionary Block Grant. However, we did see a reduced COLA for California preschool to 2.01. It provided ongoing funding for the Quality Rating and Improvement System and maintained an ongoing investment in community schools. There was one-time funding for the Literacy Coaches and Reading Specialist Grant Program, and one-time funds to identify and improve the outcomes for students experiencing homelessness. Increased ongoing funding to the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program, increased additional funding for the Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant, and one-time funds for the kitchen infrastructure and training programs. One-time funds for LEA for administering literacy screening for pupils in kinder, first, second grade. One-time funds to expand the dual enrollment and credit recovery program for Los Banos High students. And an allocation of $1.5 billion in Prop 2 bond funding for school construction programs. This budget does not have any of these one-time funds in it because I do not know those allocations at this time. So once I have those allocations, I will let you know, and you will definitely see them in unaudited actuals.
So I have a little question.
Sure.
So on the first bullet, the 1.44% for the 14 weeks of paid pregnancy disability leave, that, from my understanding, that is only for the maternal part of the
That
parent, not the paternal.
Dr. Calzadias may know more about that. It's just the mother, I thought.
Okay, so but it's just for the mother, not for the not paternity. Okay. Thank you.
So where did we end up when I did budget development? Our estimated beginning fund balance is 15.8 million. We have new revenue, which does not include any of this one time that we're talking about, of 178.4 million with expenditures of 179.1. We have an estimated ending fund balance of 15.1 million. What does that consist of? The 29,479, which is our revolving fund count, the 14 weeks paid maternity leave of 1.6 million, payroll reserves of 2.1 million, LCAP and MOF fund balance of 3 million, lottery funds of 1.6, and our required 3% reserves of 6.6 million. What do the expenditures in unrestricted amount to? For salary and benefits, we had a total of $121.6 million, which is 78% of our unrestricted revenue. We had books and supplies of 11.6, services of 20.8, and capital outlay of 3.3. When I budgeted for the 4s, 5s, and 6s, the only increase was the consumer price index. I did not add any extra funds because I was trying to meet the 3%. So there are no increases in spending there. It's just the consumer price index that I added on. The next one, I did a pie chart because those numbers in that book are so small, if any of you've looked at them. So I just kind of try to bring out a visual of the unrestricted expenditures. What did we end up for restricted expenditures for 26-27? We had salary and benefits of 40.4 million, books and supplies of 7.2, services of 12.7, equipment of 50,000, and indirects of 2.6. Now these are estimates of what I budgeted. We could spend less, we could spend more, but I budgeted for pretty much to match what we expense this year along with consumer price index. The next slide is also a restricted chart, pie chart, just to kind of give a visual of where the little pots are going. The next slide is a summary of the LCFF summary of our funds that we got. Our allocation is 172.6 million. And you will notice when you see the supplemental concentration supplemental concentration grant, that 46.2 million, that's the LCAP. That number goes up as our UPP count goes up, which is to address English learners, low income, and foster youth. The next is our 26-27 revenue sources. That I just kind of wanted to show how much of our funding is LCAP versus federal and state. The local is pretty much our clearing account and fundraisers and stuff that the students do, like they'll raise and they put it in the clearing account. Those are local expenses, but you see the bulk of our revenue is the LCFF calculator. So multi-year projections. With the 3 years out, I do show we are able to meet our 3%, And the estimated COLA that we have now, this budget was based on that for next year and the year after. You can tell in this year with the estimate, we're deficit spending by a little bit, but this budget does not have any carryover in it as well. So you will see that carryover in unaudited actuals. Our mandatory district financial obligations, we had a little savings because PERS went down a little bit, 0.41, but we had a small increase in workers' comp, but other than that, they all pretty much stayed the same. Our assumption, this budget was built with flat ADA and flat enrollment. It included the cost of living per school services. The unduplicated count is projected to remain at 85.91. Step and column for salaries was in multi-year, as well as the CPO payment, and our fund balance is well below the 10% reserve cap. The final synopsis. Los Banos is currently able to meet its financial obligations and will have a positive certification. Enrollment continues to decline. We are down 129 students from last year. Our ADA has dropped. We are down 212.56 as of P2. Special ed and transportation continue to increase. This budget was created on a flat ADA and flat enrollment. This budget does not reflect any carryover at this time. The 4s, 5s, and 6s only increase was based on CPI of 3.76. New funds were not budgeted. Any allocations will be reflected in first interim. Any questions?
Questions?
Okay. If you have any questions, please call me.
All right.
Thank you.
So this will be coming back to us on the 17th, where we'll be taking action. So with that, we're moving on to the next item, which is the LCAP overview and public hearing.
Yes, good.
I'm sorry. I missed the public hearing on, we have a new format and I'm not used to this yet. So with that, we're opening the public hearing at 7:55. Is there anybody that wishes to come forward and speak about the budget? Seeing no one come forward, we will close the public hearing at 7:55. All right, on to item B, 2627 LCAP overview, followed by a public hearing.
Thank you, Board. Dan Sutton, Director of Secondary Ed. Tonight, I'm presenting to you the first time the LCAP projection for next year, the last of the 3-year cycle that we have. Just to remind you that back in November, I made a promise to you that I would really truncate this as much as possible, so I wasn't up here for 4.5 hours. And so I've done that. So I provided you guys a copy of it. I know you've already had access to the LCAP itself prior to this, but this is kind of a summary of my presentation. For the public, the LCAP has 8 state priorities, primarily in broad categories of conditions of learning, engagement, and pupil outcomes. And those 8 priorities are basic services, state standards, parental involvement, pupil achievement, pupil engagement, school climate, course access, and other pupil outcomes. And so in the LCAP, which is the plan for the district, it provides an opportunity for local educational agencies to share their stories of how, what, and why programs and services are selected to meet their needs. And so in this particular LCAP, it has the LCFF budget overview for parents, sometimes referred to as the BOP, the plan summary, engaging educational partners and how we do that, the goals and actions that the district has established, how we've increased or improved services, some of the action tables that show what's going on with that, and then the instructions on how to read the LCAP itself. As Melanie just said, our projected budget is $172 million for the LCFF funds, with $46 million of that being on the concentration and supplemental grants. And so when you look at the numbers down the bottom, this chart shows the total general purpose revenue Los Banos Unified School District expects to receive in the coming year from all the sources that we have. So how do we address some of the things that we've talked about as far as engaging our educational partners? We do things like provide an annual LCAP survey which talks specifically about this, the California Health Kids Survey, the California Staff Survey, California Parent Survey, the LBUSD Operational Survey, the District Advisory Council, DLAC, the SELPA Consult, which is our special ed consultants, and then public meetings with both Spanish and English presentations. And that is how we try to get the feedback from the parents so that we can begin to look at what we want to do as we go forward and what they think is the priority goals. So LCAP 1 goal is raising our English learner progress up to 60% by the end of next year. And the actions that we're taking to do that is by aligning our curriculum, providing instructional supports, engaging parents, using a summer melt counselor, English learner director, which we've got that's in charge of that, plus the migrant program, and then our dual language immersion program. LCAP 2 goal is to support the whole child development. And there we're looking at a multi-tiered support system, which covers behavioral, social, emotional, mental, and physical well-being. And the actions we're taking there are to provide counselors, junior high SEL program, professional development through hatching results, the MTMDSS process, which is specifically for counselors, the mental health services, student attendance programs, and student services that provide for a wraparound service for our students. LCAP goal 3 is student growth and learning. And here what we're looking at is providing a rigorous course of study with multiple tiers of support, and it's assessed primarily through state and local assessments, which we hope the students will meet or exceed the performance criteria. And so the actions we're taking here are to provide platform evaluations of the material and our instructional pedagogy, student-led portfolios, provide for a coordinator of data assessment and accountability. We're providing elementary music teachers, visual performing arts at all levels, tutoring services, and then again, that well-rounded student services. Pardon me. LCAP goal number 4 is for safe and welcoming facilities. And here we're looking at safe facilities, well-trained staff, instructional materials, and parental opportunities to participate in the education of their children. And so you can see there's a whole bunch on here. There's CTE New Pathways, health services, school security, the Evolve system, revamping the transportation, offering STEM programs, teacher induction, parent engagement, student devices, which we go to 1-to-1, 6th grade camp for all of our kids, facilities upgrades, site supplies, STEM labs for the elementary, and then speech and language services to all of our kids. LCAP goal 5 is to decrease the suspension rate across the district with targets of all students being at 3%, our English learners 5%, and students with disabilities at 3%. And then we've got on the right side of your sheet there, you can see where we currently are with those subgroups that we're really trying to focus. Foster youth and homeless at 12 and SED at 4%. So some of the things we're doing there is we've brought in the restorative practices under the Restorative Justice League, the PBIS, and then some BCBA supports, which is inside the LCAP as well. Goal 6 is 3rd grade reading level, which was mentioned earlier. And part of that is the first instruction in literacy, standards aligned curriculum, the MTSS system, and professional development to get us there. And some of those actions that we have in there are to provide intervention and support services for our elementary students, developing that MTSS, not just academically and behaviorally, but also through our counselors through the MTMDSS system. And then the letters training, which we had almost 200 of the elementary teachers go through to prepare for teaching students how to read. As Ms. Valadeo said, she saw some evidence of that in the classroom. So I think that's kind of working on that. Goal number 7 is Crossroad Alternative Education Center. There, what we're trying to do is increase the college and career readiness for Hispanic students and increase the college and career readiness for socioeconomically disadvantaged students, both up to 5%. To do that, we brought in counselors for them, and then we have also provided them some dual enrollment opportunities through presentations and exploring what's going on at Merced College. Goal number 8 is San Luis High School, and there we're trying to bring down the suspension rates for our English learners and our SED students to below 10%. And as I mentioned at the mid-year LCAP review, we've already done that. So this goal has already been met, and we're just going to continue to do that. And one of the biggest things that was a factor in that was bringing in the counseling services for San Luis so that they had access to that both as an academic counselor and a life skills counselor. And then on goal number 9, this was included inside there because of the equity multiplier funds, which for the TK Center has been taken out now. So this will be a revised goal as well going forward. But the idea here was to reduce the absency rate, the chronic truancy for English learners, socioeconomically disadvantaged, and Hispanic students. And again, they have access to a behavior curriculum that was brought in to kind of align things, and then use of counselors to make sure that we are providing them services. And then finally, on the last one is just kind of a recap of all the things that we are currently doing and highlighting inside there. And I know you can see them all, but it basically recaps what we just talked about: parent workshops and CABE, summer counseling services, additional counselors, mental health services. We're working on essential standards work this summer. Some of it's been done for the elementary last year and the beginning of this year. The dual immersion program, the letters training, the behavioral support specialists, the BCBAs, speech and language services, professional learning through our PLC process with Solution Tree, K through 12 curriculum adoptions. We'll be going through the junior high math one coming up. School safety and evolve, the additional support services, and then the STEM labs and elementary arts. So those are kind of the highlights of this program, and you have the big broader LCAP at your disposal. So I'm going to open this up for questions. Anything that you've read previously or what I've covered here that you might have questions on.
Ms. Valdeo.
I don't want to take a long time, but I might. We talked about the literacy, and I read in there, because this document is very long, and
Yes, ma'am.
and I tried to read through as much as possible, that there's a decline in third grade literacy. They're noticing that in third grade.
There, yeah, according to Mr. Soursby, there was a kind of a step back from the previous couple of years, and so they're redoubling the effort. And I think a lot of that can be attributed to the switch in how we're actually providing the instruction, going from the letters training to teach the reading, and kind of doing away. Typically on those, when you change a system, you're going to have a fallback before you see the results of it coming back up with a different way of doing things.
Okay, so now my next question would be the letters training, because I know how much we invested in that.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know a lot about effective staff development practices. So what are we going to do to make sure that we support teachers to actually implement letters training in the classroom? Because I know that if you just give people training, it's the percentage of implementation is very low. I mean, you're lucky if you get 20%. So do we have any plans to build capacity in our school districts to develop some leaders who are going to support teachers? Or, I mean, is there anything in place to make sure the money we invested in our teachers is actually going to be effective?
So in listening to Mr. Soursby and Dr. Ritchie and their discussions about elementary, because it's outside mine, but I listened, that is the plan, is to develop some in-house, almost like TOSAs that can go out and help those teachers that have already implemented the program, that become specialists. They go out and do the teacher leader, and they'll learn and come back. That's going to be on the discussion board because of where we're at and the vision that Dr. Vala has when she comes in, and where we're going. That was kind of on the planning board. And yeah, so there's been those discussions that you're right. If you just give them the one and done, it dies on the vine. So we need to come back and help those folks.
I just want to make sure that's really something, because I know how important that is, that we're not just offering it, but we're creating something that will develop it into something powerful. Now, my next thing, and get me if I'm wrong, did I see a decline with our EL population as far as the state testing?
Slight one, yes.
So that was interesting, because we've implemented so many great things, I feel, with making sure we have the divided time for our levels of ELs. And so to me, it's like, I was surprised to see there was a decline in that and not increase in our ELs. So I was just wondering what efforts we're going to put into making sure. And I do understand that state testing is one day picture, and it's not the greatest assessment. I wish we didn't have to make decisions on a test that's given on one day in a limited amount of time. I was so glad to see that you guys are also putting the MAP testing in there, because I noticed that when I read several times that the MAP testing was showing more growth than the state testing. And I know there's a disconnect there, even though we don't have our results to this year's assessment, so we don't know if that's going to match or not. I was just really concerned, because I know our our EL director is doing some great things, and we have our dual language immersion program, but I think there's something that there's a disconnect that I hope we're going to keep an eye on and put more practices in place for our regular ed teachers to do that in the classroom, to build that academic vocabulary. They definitely need to be successful on that map, on that testing, because academic vocabulary is key. And I know with our direction towards letters training, sometimes vocabulary, I know vocabulary is in there, but I was so happy to see that SEAL training being implemented at Mercy Springs, because how powerful. It would be wonderful if there was more of that in all the grades to build that academic vocabulary, since we have a high percentage of ELs in our, what did I see, 31%? Something like that? I mean, that's a high population. I don't know. I know I'm looking at you because I know you have the answers to that. Yes, please.
We need you to come up and come to the microphone, please.
Our EL population has decreased. We were at one point, we were 27. We are about 23% of our students are English learners. As far as the testing and all of those scores, we have seen an increase in some of our students moving from one level, LPI level, to another, and making those changes and that growth. We've seen that. We have also seen some school sites, the progress of their yields is much higher than other school sites. And so we are looking at the data. We're trying to look at why and what is one school doing versus the other school that's not getting the same results. As far as SEAL, we have 5 of our schools continuing in kindergarten doing the SEAL. I know I was sharing with Mr. Pereira last week. In our kindergarten, we are having successes, or the schools that are doing SEAL, we're having students reclassify in kindergarten when they come in at the beginning of the school year with a level 1. And then at the end of the year, they are reaching a level 4, so they are being reclassified. So we are seeing successes. And again, in some schools, we see more success than others. So with our EL admin team, which is one administrator from each school site that I work with every month, we're looking at what are different schools doing, what interventions are we providing for our students. So we have a long way to go. We are making some progress, and having that conversation as how can we get coaches, how do we get people to support the training that's occurring? Because definitely, one time training and done does not get into the classroom. As far as we have our MTSS team also working on best research-based strategies that we're going to be starting to move into and sharing with our staff. So there's a lot of great things happening with our administrators, with our teaching staff. So, with the direction of our new superintendent, hopefully, we'll continue to move forward. So.
And I know you're doing great things. I just, I don't get to be in the classrooms all the time to see what's happening. And I hate to see those declines because it doesn't reflect what's really going on. And, I want to see that. And I know one thing as a teacher that really bugged me, and now this is going to go to PLC, because I know I'd like to see a PLC in action, because I know a lot of times I got data and, oh yeah, these kids are low, but they never gave us any what to do with it. They just gave us the data that says. So I'm curious, because we spend a lot of our money implementing PLCs with a lot of consultants coming in, and I want to make sure that we're getting bang for our buck with that PLC, because I hear some schools, when I talk to them, are loving it and doing great things, and other schools are going, what a waste of money. So I'd like to see, I'd like to see more of the schools, if we're going to keep investing in PLCs, because I believe in the process, as long as we give the support that teachers need and don't just give them data and say, deal with it. Because, if you got data and says, okay, what are you going to do? What is an effective strategy that I can use with this child? So I just get nervous that sometimes we expect teachers to do things without the support that they truly need to do to make the improvements with those students. So we invest a lot of money, and I'm glad we do. And I know you said coaches. I mean, sometimes I'd rather see our money invested in coaching than in consultants that come in from the outside, because our own is much better than going on the outside. It just is. And that's just me looking really closely at the LCAP. It's something I believe in. So I know these people probably don't look at it as closely as I do, but yeah, I know it's really important to me. I mean, curriculum to me is so important, because that's what's going to raise student achievement. And I want to make sure the money we spend, especially since money is so tight, that we really do what we need to do for our students and give the support for our teachers. Oh, one other thing. You know, at one point we were doing something with this. Thank you. That's all. This is absenteeism now. That's gone up. And at one point we had something in place to raise it, and we did a really good job of raising the absenteeism rate and getting more money. And now it seems like it's gone back down. Did that just we don't have that in place anymore? Is that the case?
Mr. Mraz, I know he's kind of coordinating the attendance issues, and I don't know if you want to speak to that as well. But yeah, it's kind of different at all the different sites, which is why he's trying to coordinate how we approach the attendance issues and all that, setting up things like Saturday recovery attendance for ADA and all those kind of things. And he's looking into that. Did you want to speak on any of that, Mr. Mraz? Yeah. What was the question?
Is what are we going to do to improve our absenteeism rate? Because it was good for a while, and it seems like when this report came out now, it doesn't look so great.
Well, there's multiple things that we're doing. We actually contract with a company that is called, they changed the name actually, A2A, which is a different name now, but they provide information as far as reports on a quarterly basis. And that information is open to the principals, the school, which they receive the reports. They actually generate certain groupings, for example, which are the kids that actually we should be contacting, because those are the ones that when you call them, they're going to turn it around. So it's actually like a bubble group that we contact. Not necessarily know that every single site is actually following through with that. So that's something that we need to continue as far as making sure that we're consistent. The other thing actually is communicating at home. I know that we have the liaisons now, provide some training so they can actually communicate, because there's a bridge communication to home, but I don't know if we're actually doing the right communication. So need more training in that area as well.
And we could probably utilize our community liaisons, right? I mean, I was just thinking now that we have that in place, it seems like we can improve that and get more of that ADA that we really need to have.
Another thing that I was actually planning when it comes to one of my goals actually is to implement the short-term independent studies, which actually we're not doing it right now, but you can recover up 10 actually days per student. Like the kids that go to, they travel, vacationing, you can actually put them in short-term independent studies and you can recover that. So there's some strategies.
Yeah, let's do them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all the time I'm going to take.
All right, Ms. Gattuso.
I pressed this.
So I just want to clarify that I did read the LCAP and I compared it to the last LCAP. So some of us do read it. So
read it.
I know that's why I'm just defending all of you. So my question is secondary. So Crossroads, not WASC accredited, correct?
Correct.
So the goal for students that are there isn't really credit recovery, right?
At Crossroads, no. It's
Okay.
It's alternative.
So, and we take ninth graders?
Yes, at Crossroads, depending upon their situation.
So I look at, it's a small number of students, but we're missing, they're not able to have A to G because of not WASC accredited, not having A to G courses. It's available on the software that we use, right? Apex and Admentum, right? They use all of that, which has A to G courses. So me personally, I would like to see maybe to think about changing that, just for the mere fact, like I said, there's kids that maybe it's their junior year. They've got all their A to G their freshman, sophomore year, but now they've had some kind of crisis and they need to go on independent study. And now their A to G just goes down the tubes. If we're doing dual enrollment, why can't we think about that as well? So my 2 cents.
Yeah, and I've had conversations with Mr. Mias about doing that. We had to spend this year kind of taking a step back and aligning all the curriculum at Crossroads because it wasn't being implemented appropriately. And when we brought in the consultant and looked at that, so we've kind of had to restructure that and get that set up. It's now being done the way it's supposed to be. So it's actually an alternative education, not a credit recovery. And so that's the next step we're looking at is how do we now then take this to the dual enrollment? How do we do this for the A through G and for those kids that are over there? And we've, changed who gets in, what the requirements are for getting in there and those kind of things as well. I also want to touch on a couple more things you said. As we discussed with the letters, we've also had discussions about how do we provide additional support for our EL students in the classroom and looking at that. So that's something else on the planning board that we've been talking about. And then all the directors have been working from, I want to say, April, putting together a professional development plan for our administrators going forward next year to provide them the strategies on how to actually teach their staffs how to utilize their data they're getting during the PLC meetings to be able to develop lesson plans or PDSA cycles and things like that. So that's also on the plan there. And that's we've mapped that out for the entire year. So we're just waiting on Dr. Vala's vision to see how she wants to, guide us through that process, but we've kind of mapped it out.
All right. Are there any other comments or questions on the LCAP? All right. Seeing none, it is 8:18. We're going to open the public hearing. Is there anybody that wishes to address the board on this year's or this coming year's LCAP? All right. Seeing no one come forward, it's 8:19. We will close the public hearing. The LCAP will be in front of us for approval on June 17th. All right. Thank you very much. On to item C, Memorandum of Understanding with the Los Banos Teachers Association. Dr. Calzadias.
Recommended that the board take action to approve the Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, between the Los Banos Unified School District, LBUSD, and the Los Banos Teachers Association, LBTA.
So I have a question. In the MOU, it says the agriculture teacher salary schedule will be implemented, which is attached, and it is not attached.
And I realized that error. I was asking Mel was asking me, and that is an oversight on my part. I take full responsibility for that. It will be on the special board agenda meeting on June the 17th.
All right, so we're going to pull this item, so we're not taking action on this tonight.
I apologize for that.
Okay. All right, on to item D, Education Protection Account. Ms. Marcella.
The next 4 items are just housekeeping that we do every year.
Go a little bit to the microphone, please.
I'm out of sorts because we're in a different place. Okay. So it is recommended that the board approve Resolution 13-26 regarding the Education Protection Act. This is just it's part of general fund, but we have to separate it out as the Educational Protection Act. So it's coded to fund Resource 1400, and all this money is used to pay teacher salaries and benefits.
Questions, comments? Motion, please.
I'll make a motion. Second.
We got a motion by member Valadeo, seconded by member Moran to approve the resolution. It's a roll call vote. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. Approve the resolution, so it is a roll call vote. Nanette, let me turn your microphone on. Nanette, go ahead.
Okay. Give me just a second here. Okay. Got too much going on here. Mr. Pereira?
Aye.
Mrs. Gattuso?
Yes.
Ms. Valadeo?
Yes.
Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Dr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Castro? Ms. Smith?
All right. Motion passed unanimously. On to item E, authorization to sign on behalf of the governing board.
It is recommended that the board approve the authorization to sign on behalf of the governing board, Resolution 14-26. This allows Dr. Vala and myself to sign off on payroll and accounts payable items.
All right, questions, comments? If not, need a motion, please? We got a motion by member Lieb, seconded by member Gattuso to authorize the board, authorize signatures on behalf of the board, and is a resolution. Roll call, please, Nanette.
Mr. Pereira,
Aye.
Mrs. Gattuso, Ms. Valadeo,
Yes.
Mr. Lieb,
Yes.
Dr. Moran,
Yes.
Mr. Castro, Ms. Smith.
All right. Item passes unanimously. On to item F, interfund cash transfers.
It is
Resolution. Oh, go ahead.
It is recommended that the board approve Resolution 15-26 for the 26-27 school year, allowing me to make interfund transfers.
Comments, questions? All right, seeing none, I need a motion to approve Resolution 15-26. We got a motion by member Gattuso, seconded by member Lieb. It is a roll call vote. Nanette, please.
Mr. Pereira,
Yes.
Mrs. Gattuso,
Yes.
Ms. Valadeo,
Yes.
Mr. Lieb, Dr. Moran,
Yes.
Mr. Castro, Ms. Smith.
All right. Item passes unanimously. On to item G, excess of minimum reserve requirement.
It is recommended the board approve the balance in excess of minimum reserves requirement form.
Again, comments or questions? Seeing none, I need a motion, please. We got a motion by member Castro, seconded by member Moran, to approve the excess of minimum reserve requirement. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It passes unanimously.
Nanette has all these forms that require lots of signatures, so thank you in advance.
Okay. So nobody leave, we got to sign stuff. All right, item H, school plans for student achievement. Who's that? Oh,
I'll take
all
that
right.
one also.
You take that one, okay.
All right, you've previously been given copies of the SIPSs as well, so the staff recommend that the Board of Trustees approve the revised 26-27 school plans for student achievement for Los Banos High School, Pacheco High School, San Luis High School, Crossroads Alternative Education Center, Creekside Junior High School, Los Banos Junior High School, Charleston Elementary, Grasslands Elementary, Henry Miller Elementary, Los Banos Elementary, Lorena Velasco Elementary, Mercy Springs Elementary, Miano Elementary, Transitional Kindergarten Center, Westside Union Elementary, and Volta Elementary.
All right. One of the things that we can always count on is reading this and falling asleep. It is one of the best things that you can use to fall asleep with. Any questions or comments? Motion, please. We got a motion by member Valadeo, seconded by member Gattuso, to approve the school plans for student achievement. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried. Thank you. On to the Early Education Center change order number 5. Ms. Monday.
It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve change order number 5 with TBS Contractors Incorporated for the construction of the Early Education Center project.
Comments or questions? Seeing none, need a motion, please. We got a motion by member Castro, seconded by member Moran, to approve the Early Education Center change order number 5. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried. On to item J, bid award, Pacheco High School new artificial turf baseball field.
It is recommended that the board award the bid to Bothman Construction for the new artificial turf baseball field site work at Pacheco High School and authorize the superintendent or superintendent's designee to sign contract documents and a notice to proceed.
Comments, questions? All right. This did come before the Facilities Committee, and we did look at it very carefully and discuss it. So we did our due diligence. All right. So I need a motion, please.
Second.
Was that Lieb? Okay. A member by motion by Lieb, seconded by Valadeo to approve the bid award for Pacheco High School artificial turf baseball fields. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried unanimously. On to item K, Architectural Services Agreement Amendment Number 3, Los Banos High School Modernization Project.
It is recommended that the board approve the Architectural Services Agreement Amendment Number 3 from Teeter Architects for the Los Banos High School Modernization Project.
Again, comments or questions? All right, seeing none, need a motion, please? Got a motion by member Gattuso, seconded by member Lieb to approve the Architectural Services Agreement Number 3 with the for the Los Banos High School Modernization Project. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried unanimously. On to item L, change order number 3, Volta Elementary School Modernization.
It is recommended that the board approve change order number 3 with Kaya Services LLC for the construction of the Volta Elementary School Modernization Project.
You know the drill. All right. We got a motion by member Gattuso, seconded by member Moran to approve change order number 3 for the Volta Elementary School Modernization. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is carried unanimously. You guys, you guys are getting good. All right. Notice item M, notice of completion for the Early Education Center.
It is recommended that the board approve a notice of completion for TBS Contractors and American Modular Systems for the Early Education Center project and authorize the filing of the notice of completion.
All right. Got a motion by Valadeo, seconded by Moran to approve the notice of completion for the Early Education Center. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's carried. On item N, notice of completion for the RM Miano Elementary School restroom building.
It is recommended that the board approve a notice of completion for TBS Contractors for the new restroom building at RM Miano Elementary School and authorize the filing of the notice of completion.
It's under budget.
And it was under budget.
Yes.
Check that out.
Finally. All right, need a motion. Got a motion by Lieb, seconded by Gattuso to approve the notice of completion for the Aramiano Elementary School new restroom building. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. On to item O, notice of completion of the Los Banos Junior High new fire alarm project that's been going on forever and ever and ever.
It is recommended that the board approve the notice of completion for the Los Banos Junior High School new fire alarm system project. It should say, and authorize the filing of the notice of completion.
Can you go back and fix that right now? So moved.
This has been long coming.
Yes.
We got a motion by Gattuso, seconded by Lieb to approve the notice of completion for the Los Banos Junior High new fire alarm project. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's approved. Yeah, not new anymore. Yeah. Approved unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Monday. All right, on to item P. Woo, hello. Item P are new board policies that are coming to us for first reading.
Yes. As a first read, it is recommended the board to declare its intent to adopt the following mandated updates. BP 1240, volunteer assistance. AR 1240, volunteer assistance. AR 1312.4, Williams Uniform Complaint Procedures. Exhibit 1312.4 E1, Williams Uniform Complaint Procedures. Exhibit 1312.4 E2, Williams Uniform Complaint Procedures. BP 2110, Superintendent Responsibilities and Duties. BP 4200, Classified Personnel. AR 4200, Classified Personnel. BP 5141.75, Weather Safety. BP 5142, Safety. AR 5142, Safety. And BP 6146.1, High School Graduation Requirements.
All right, any comments or questions? This is no action. It'll be coming back to us next month for approval. So read up. All right, thank you very much. All right, consent calendars up next. Are there any pools tonight? Yes. Hang on. Let me get it here. All right, Ms. Gattuso.
I'm gonna say there's two, they're kind of connected, and it's just more of a clarification for me versus, don't want to vote no, it's just I need clarification. So it's E3 and E10. So it probably falls under Dr. Sutton. So Dr.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pull them.
Sorry,
It's okay.
I forget how we do this.
Because we don't, it doesn't happen often. So So anyway, we have a pool here and actually two pools. And I believe we may have another one. Okay. And so we'll do that next, Ms. Valadeo. G1. She wants to pull G1. Okay. So we have three pools. So what we're going to do is we'll set those aside for a second and we will vote on the remainder of the consent calendar. So with that, I need a motion to approve the consent calendar with the exception of item E3, E10, and G1. We got a motion by member Lieb, seconded by member Gattuso to approve the consent calendar with the pools. It is a roll call vote. And let me get to the mic here. And Nanette, go ahead.
Mr. Pereira,
Yes.
Mrs. Gattuso? Yes. Ms. Valadeo?
Yes.
Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Dr. Moran? Mr. Castro?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
All right. That approved unanimously. All right. On to our first pool. Ms. Gattuso, you pulled item E3. So you could talk to it.
So the two that I pulled though are kind of connected in my questioning. So E3 has Los Banos High School only for the Sierra Vista. And it's paid out of their Title I monies. And E10 has 10 schools with LCAP money. Are they not included in the 10 schools? Or is this up and above, they want something else? Because the amount would be the same for a person.
It's up and above. What we've done is we've got 10 counselors that are spread throughout the district. And Pacheco High School and Los Banos High School usually use their Title I to get a second mental health counselor from Sierra Vista.
Okay.
So they submit their own.
Okay, that's where I needed the clarification. Thank you.
All right. With that, we will need to vote on item E3. So it's not part of the consent calendar. So we will do this like we regularly do a motion. So I need a motion on item E3. We have a motion by Valadeo, seconded by
Me.
Gattuso. All right. We have a motion and a second to approve the Sierra Vista Child and Family Support Services contract renewal. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it is carried. Motion for item E10. Got a motion. We need a second. We got a motion by member Moran, seconded by member Castro to approve the Sierra Vista Child and Family Services contract for individualized student services. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is carried. All right. Ms. Valadeo, item G1.
This is a Educator Rising Conference. I just want to know more about it because I looked at the agenda and it looked like more of there's a contest and people are performing. So I know there's 12 people attending. So I'm thinking, oh, this is big. I just was curious to see why we're sending the 12 people and what it's all about more.
Oh, well, as you'll recall, when I presented the original contract for the Educator Rising, which was part of the GSPP grant that we've got, there is no California State CTSO. There is a national one, which is Educator Rising. And so what they do is they present the conference material for the educators, for administrators, counselors, but they also provide competitions just like you would for ag for the kids that are part of the educator pathways and all that. So what happens is as you kids go through your pathway and get into 11th to 12th grade, they go to the conference to have competitions on pedagogy, lesson planning, delivery, all those kind of things. So we're right now not in the position to send students because we haven't developed it. Right now, we're just in the planning grant portion of that, which has to be spent by June 30th of this month. So what we're doing is we're sending crews from both of the high schools, which it has to stay at a high school level, to be able to look at it and say, is this something we really want to go forward with? I've already applied for the implementation grant, and we were awarded $400,000 for that, which will be coming to you as well. But that'll help us implement the plan if that's where we choose to go with it. But we want to make sure that this is something both sides can really do and sustain before we commit to actually putting in the classes and all of that. So this will train the part of that. What you saw on the agenda there is actually the curriculum that we contracted with Educated Rising LCC. And so our teachers that are going will actually be sitting through the curriculum portion of that, learning the curriculum, learning how to access it, how to strategies for teaching it, the resource materials, and all of those kind of things.
Okay.
Right. Ms. Gattuso.
I just want to say thank you for attaching the agenda. That's like was
sure.
wonderful.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. All right. Any other comments or questions? Need a motion, please? To approve. We got a motion by Member Valadeo, seconded by Member Moran to approve the Educators Rising Conference, National Conference. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it is carried. All right. Thank you. Yes. Well, when we get to the discussion information and future agenda items. Or you can do it anytime you want because you're the boss. All right. Reporting out of closed session. Mr. Mraz, do you have the student discipline one? Okay. Well, she's finding that. We're going to start with the, we had 4 items for action. And let me pull up the next thing I need here. Okay. All right. So the first item number 1 in closed session was the physical education waiver. We approved that waiver, motion by Gattuso, seconded by Castro. There were 7 yeses, no nos, and no abstentions or absences. On item 2, student discipline. Expulsion case number 5515144 is expelled for the remainder of the school year. Students are to contact Educational Services for readmission following the period of expulsion for a review of attendance, credits, and/or grades, behavior, and recommended counseling. All students are referred to Valley Community School. The motion was by Ms. Gattuso, seconded by Mr. Castro. 6 ayes, no nos, 1 abstention, which is Smith, and 1 absence. No absence, I'm sorry. All right, and that goes back. And then item number 3, the settlement agreement. The board approved the settlement agreement. The motion was by Gattuso, seconded by Moran. The yeses were 7, the nos were none, and the absences and abstentions were none. And item number 4, the public employee discipline. That item was denied. That appeal was denied. Motion was by Valadeo, seconded by Moran. There were 6 yeses, no nos, 1 abstention, which was Smith. The ayes were Castro, Gattuso, Lieb, Moran, Pereira, and Valadeo, with the 1 member Smith abstaining. And with that, on to item number 13, which is discussion, information, and future agenda items. I think Dr. Vela wants to talk. Vala, sorry.
I would like to formally recognize our 2 new administrators, starting with Ms. Ms. Berman Flores has a total of 20 years of experience in education and has served as a first grade teacher, a Spanish teacher, a learning director, an assistant principal, summer school principal, and has built a solid reputation in the district as someone who goes above and beyond to form positive relationships with parents, teachers, students, and the entire educational community, and an individual who has an endless amount of energy and positivity, which I have experienced every time I have interacted with her. She launched the first multicultural night at Pacheco High School as a classroom teacher, has grown to an annual attendance of over 3,500 visitors. She works closely with our ELAC and DLAC, which we saw at our last board meeting, parent groups, and has built a strong, positive relationship with all parents she has worked with, both as a classroom teacher and as an administrator. Her positivity, energy, and passion will be a welcome addition to the LBE campus. Please join me in formally welcoming as principal. And then new to Los Banos, Miss Veronica Miranda has been selected to serve as our Director of Educator Development and Compliance, coming to us from Gustine Unified, where she is currently a principal at Romero Elementary School. But during her 29-year tenure in education, she has been in many different roles, which her experience there is going to serve us greatly. She's been the Director of Educational Services in Napa Valley, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services in Patterson, and the panel was impressed not only by her desire to return to school, soon we will be calling her Dr. Miranda, she is working on that. She desired to return to the school site after 12 years of absence to return as an elementary principal. Her vast experiences have deepened her understanding of how central office leadership can best support principals, teachers, and students. And she will bring her knowledge, skills, and expertise in these areas and much more to Los Banos Unified. So please join me in welcoming Miss Miranda to LBUSD.
All right. Welcome and congratulations. All right. On to board and superintendent discussion, information items, and future agenda items. Anybody have anything tonight? All right. Seeing no one. We are going back into closed session because we didn't finish what we had to. But what we have left to do is non-action. So we will not be reporting out. So you don't need to stick around. And we are going to adjourn into closed session. Thank you for being here. Good night.